Hello, I'm the Irish Guy, and I'm going to take a look at every Premier League club and find the one player each team is selling or getting rid of this summer. That one player who is actually going to have a great season. Right, let's go. Arsenal, Arthur Okonkwo Wrexham. Okay, Arsenal haven't really sold anyone yet. Yes, Fulmer stiff ground at Emile Smith Rowe. It's crazy. I remember when Aston Villa were trying to buy from Arsenal 2 years ago, and the Gunners fans were growling like angry dogs when someone tries to steal their food. But now that Smith Rowe has outstayed his welcome, now that he looks about as much a Ballon d'Or contender as I do a Chinese snowman, I think most Arsenal fans would like to take the £30 million and run. The only player that Arsenal have permanently sold this summer is 22-year-old goalie Arthur Okonkwo, who's been at the Emirates since 2009. Now he's just been given to Wrexham on a free. A team where he did keep 16 clean sheets last season on loan. I don't think he ever thought as a child that when he would eventually quit the Gunners, it would be because he was coaxed away by the Green Lantern. Anyway, yeah, Wrexham are on the up. He'll just be fine again. But don't think for a second that his good performances will make Arsenal fans jealous. In the same way, your ex-wife is really not going to care if you manage to successfully butter toast without getting crumbs on the floor in your new lonely bachelor pad. Aston Villa, Tim Origbonam, Everton. Lads, Aston Villa and Everton must be sitting to the side of each other this summer. Are the chiefs of their transfer committees just awkwardly trapped on some Caribbean island? Were they part of a plane crash, and so to pass the time, just to give them something to talk about, they're just swapping players with each other as if they're Pokemon cards? Honestly, the whole transfer saga has been like a game of Secret Santa so far, because Villa have taken Lewis Dobbin from Goodison Park and are on the verge of signing Amadou Onana too, someone who, during Euro 2024, revealed to the world that he clearly learned English by watching Hollyoaks and the Toffees. Well, they've signed Villa wonderkid midfielder Tim Origbonam for £9 million. Look, it's almost a like-for-like swap because Origbonam plays Onana's position. He's also a possession-based number 6 who shone on loan at QPR, squeaked 15 appearances for Villa last season. I actually think he's going to be a breakout star. I know you won't believe me because it's hard to take someone seriously when they're called Tim. That is not a superstar name. It's a name about as powerful as a mouse with the mumps. It's a name fitting for middle-aged milkmen who still live with their mum. But still, I still think he's going to be class. Bournemouth, Lloyd Kelly, Newcastle. Lloyd Kelly is everything that Newcastle needs. A versatile defender who can play either centre-back or, crucially, as a left back too. That is an absolute necessity because Dan Burn, nice guy that he seems, he's not Champions League or even Europa League quality. He's about as naturally talented as the cheeseburger crumbs on Jonah Hill's chin. Kelly is a top defender and has been for years. And I'm going to say this, a 25-year-old Kelly arriving at St. James's Park for less than the price of a Fredo, he's going to be so good. Initially at centre back and then at left back after the return of Sven Botman from injury at Christmas. He's going to be so brilliant that actually he is going to earn his first England cap off the new manager. I mean, you know what's really weird actually, and must probably make him feel like a conflicted spy, but for the sake of his international career, he is probably hoping that Eddie Howe gets the England job. I mean, it's fine. Then the Magpies snap up Pochettino. Everybody wins. Brentford, David Raya, Arsenal. Yeah, David Raya has only just sealed his permanent £35 million switch to Arsenal. And he's going to be as good as he was on loan last season. Next, Brighton, Ansu Fati somewhere. Brighton have only dumped one player this summer, flushing Adam Lallana back off to Southampton for free. I don't think he will be good. The man turns 37 years old next year. He's rejoining a club where the fan base actively despise him. And let's be real, this will be the worst Southampton team he has played in since they were relegated from the Championship in 2009. I mean, even the League One and Championship teams after that still had Jose Font, Morgan Schneiderlin, Mikel Antonio, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Ricky Lambert, James Ward-Prowse and Luke Shaw. So, I don't know. Ansu Fati has gone back to Barcelona after his disappointing loan spell. Hansi Flick has told this original Yamal that he has no future anymore. They have a new shiny toy now, so I don't know. He'll get a loan move to somewhere and do alright, I guess. Better than Lallana anyway. Chelsea, Thiago Silva, Fluminense. Is Thiago Silva a vampire? Do both he and Pepe drink Dracula's milk in the morning? Are they both running around feasting on humans and creeping out Kristen Stewart? Because Silva, how is he still this good at the age of 39? He has his 40th birthday in September. And yet this monstrous 113 capped Brazil centre back is still elite. Anyway, he's just left Chelsea to rejoin Fluminense in Brazil, a South American giant in complete crisis. This is a team who won the Copa Libertadores, the South American Champions League last year. They finished runner-up to Man City at the Club World Cup, and yet now now, they're rock bottom of the league in Serie A, on course for a stupendously bizarre relegation. They've only won 1 of their 16 league games this season, but I still reckon Silva comes in, has a similar Chelsea impact, and they wind up winning the Copa Libertadores again. Oh yeah, and survive an embarrassing relegation. Come on, both Thiago Silva and Marcelo in the same defense. They'll be fine. Crystal Palace, Michael Olise, Bayern Munich. Michael Olise is utter class, and this is the season where the 22-year-old becomes a megastar. I reckon this £50 million playmaker is going to develop a deliciously saucy partnership with Jamal Musiala, forcing Ebereki Eze to sit at home, jealously cutting up Olise's hoodie like a demented ex. But yeah, Olise, I'm going to say 10 goals and 17 assists for Bayern this season. And I promise you, he will have made his senior France debut before the season's out. Everton, Ben Godfrey, Atalanta. Ben Godfrey is a Champions League defender. I know, I'm confused too. This 26-year-old Everton centre-back, someone who Sean Dyche didn't even want to know last season, letting him continuously rot on the bench, he's now just tied up an £11 million move to Atalanta. You know, the Europa League winners? It is an absolutely astonishing transfer for this guy, and considering that club of being a rehabilitation centre for failing big names down on the luck, like David Raya, Shaq Kolasinac, John Lucas Kamaka, and Adamola Lookman, then yeah, Godfrey is going to be like Chris Smalling, a completely ignored ex-England international who's actually ripping it up on the continent and in the Champions League. Just stay away from the free pizza, Ben. Fulham, Bobby de Cordova-Reid, Leicester City. Look, João Paulinho, Bayern Munich is the obvious shout, but I'm going to talk about Bobby de Cordova-Reid, a 31-year-old Jamaican international forward who's just joined Leicester on a free. The guy is not anything close to world class, and he only scrapes the surface of being Premier League quality, but he's always had the knack of scrambling in a few important Premier League goals for Fulham. And simply, I'm going to call it. This might sound insane to say, but de Cordova-Reid is going to provide more of a goal threat than Jamie Vardy. Leicester City, nobody. I refuse to say that Kiernan Dewsbury Hall will be a Chelsea success. Next, Liverpool, Adrian Real Betis. Remember Adrian, that rusty skeleton who's grown old in the Anfield closet? This guy left West Ham for Liverpool 5 years ago, and surprisingly, actually crammed 18 appearances into his debut season, where the Reds actually went and won the Premier League. He even played 11 Premier League games. He got his medal. That was an absolute dream debut year, and then he's barely been seen since, just sitting in the background munching on chocolate muffins and actively resenting the existence of Caoimhin Kelleher. Well, now at the age of 37, he's finally left Liverpool for Real Betis on a free, where he is replacing a 41-year-old Claudio Bravo on the bench, who's just been released. But Adrian, he should be excited, because Real Betis don't have that much faith in the number one goalie anyway. 30-year-old one-cap wonder Portuguese goalie Rui Silva, who last season was dropped for a month after letting in 5 against Barcelona in September. The previous 2 seasons, he'd spent a combined 41 games rotting on the bench, including most of the Europa League games. Well, Betis are in the Europa Conference League this season, so I think Adrian gets in the team. Either he's given a run in Europe, or he replaces Silva after another dreadful loss. Adrian is somebody who wrestled the gloves back off an England international star like Joe Hart, after even his own chairman wrote him off at West Ham. So honestly, I think this guy is at Betis to take those gloves, and I think he'll eventually do it. Be scared, Rui Silva. Man City, Sergio Gomez, Real Sociedad. Lads, Real Sociedad is the place to be right now. That must be the most joyous dressing room in Europe. This mostly Spanish squad are going to be bouncing back into training, because a huge chunk of them literally just won the Euros. One of them scored a last-minute winner against Germany in the quarterfinals. Another one scored the winning goal against England in the final. These players will be an absolute cloud 9. Pre-season is going to be a party, and he has 23-year-old left-back Sergio Gomez has finally escaped the Man City bench after 2 pointless seasons, and has now signed a monster 6-year contract at Sociedad, essentially replacing Kieran Tierney. He's only a £10 million signing, but he's going to be class. Honestly, I'm going to call it. This man is going to make the La Liga team of the season. Man United, Aaron Wan-Bissaka to West Ham. Lads, I think Manchester United selling Aaron Wan-Bissaka looks like it could be a mistake. Look, I know he was an extraordinarily overpriced £60 million defender from Crystal Palace. Never in a million years was he ever worth that much, considering how one-dimensional he actually is. He is basically just like a nightclub bouncer. Someone who you cannot get past, but that's it. He doesn't do anything else. I mean, you know that chunky bouncer is not going to be able to chase you down the street. Similarly with Wan-Bissaka, he's not exactly like Cafu going forward, but he's still a quality footballer. I think he is still one of the best one-on-one fullbacks in the league. And I think for West Ham under Julian Lopetegui, he is going to provide such defensive nous to his game. I think AWB is going to be a class act. And I think Man United fans are probably going to miss him a lot. This sounds a bit crazy, but there is a reason why Wan-Bissaka has held off ever playing for Dr. Congo. I mean, he has one under 20 cap for them 9 years ago. I mean, they've tried to call him up, but that is one doctor's appointment he does not want to go to. He doesn't want to play alongside the likes of Axel Twanzebe, Arthur Masuaku, or Yohan Wissa. No, it's because he's still holding out for the possibility that he might be able to get himself his England dream, despite the fact he was about 9th choice right back for Gareth Southgate. But I'm going to say this now. I think that Wan-Bissaka, while at West Ham, I think he gets himself in the England squad. Newcastle Yankuba Minte to Brighton. Why have Newcastle sold Yankuba Minte to Brighton for £30 million without even playing a game? I already know this decision is going to age horribly. This is a 19-year-old Gambian wing sensation off the back of an 11-goal season under Arne Slot, and now he's quitting Tyneside without ever having played a match. But look, Minte, I reckon this pacey, explosive winger becomes a star this season, scoring 12 goals for Brighton, including one at St James's Park, which will cause the Geordies to melt like chocolate bunnies. Nottingham Forest, Orel Mangala to Lyon. Yeah, here you have 26-year-old Belgian international midfielder Orel Mangala tying up a £15 million permanent switch to Lyon after spending the second half of last season on loan. Clearly they liked what they saw, so yeah, after being a bit of a forest damp squib, he'll be fine in France. Honestly, after Alikium's failures at Man City 10 years ago, I think the Premier League should probably stop buying Mangalas. They never seem to work. Southampton Roman Perot to Real Betis. Real Betis are also a bit of a rehabilitation home for fallen big names. They're like the Spanish Atalanta. Just ask Coyote Perez, who's just gone from being an absolutely atrocious, relegated, expensive Leicester misfit to Euro 2024 champion with Spain. That is an absolute turnaround of epic proportions. And so yeah, 26-year-old French left-back Roman Perot, who, just like Perez, was also relegated that season before spending the championship season out on loan. For him, it was Nice in France. Yeah, it'll be pretty good this season. Tottenham Jaffa Tanganga to Millwall. Jaffa Tanganga makes me sad. This was a young English defender who Jose Mourinho had faith in. He was like a mini Aaron Wan-Bissaka, an uncompromising, rock-solid mountain of a defender. A ferocious tackler, someone who played 50 times in Tottenham's first team. But now, after an embarrassing loan spell in the Bundesliga with Augsburg, where he wasn't even allowed to play a single minute, honestly, why? Did he just spend every training session eating donuts by the corner flag? He went to Millwall on loan in January and was spectacular, playing 18 games at centre back, scoring twice, and even polished off the season with 5 straight wins. I mean, considering when he joined they were in free fall, losing 6 out of 7 games at the start of 2024, then that is an insane impact. He is too good for the championship, but no, he's just been given to Millwall for free. Oh, he's going to be immense. Championship team of the season. I already know. This is a former Mourinho favorite. What is he doing at Millwall? A place where every season ticket holder probably eats a small child at half time. West Ham, Flynn Downs to Southampton. It's kind of sad how Flynn Downs' West Ham career is over. He is a Boyhood Hammers fan, and yet despite sealing an utter dream move from Swansea in 2022, it's now all over for him. Although what insane fortune that in his only season at West Ham, they actually win a trophy. That is just mammoth insane luck. Anyway, after a brilliant season alone in Southampton's midfield, he's back permanently in a £15 million deal. And yeah, this talented 25-year-old defensive midfielder, he's going to be good. He'll be what Morgan Schneiderlin was for the Saints the last time they came up. Wolves, Max Kilman to West Ham. Max Kilman is a fine defender. West Ham managed to prize Wolves captain out of Molyneux for £40 million. He's almost a complete centre back. Oh, without a doubt, under Julian Lopetegui's guidance, once again, he's going to be an absolute rip-roaring West Ham success. Just brilliant. And again, like Kelly, he's also someone who the new England manager is going to reward him with his England debut. Trust me, by May of next year, Kilman will be an England international. Just you watch. Anyway, that's it. What do you think? Let me know. So what do you think? Are these players going to do well? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give a like. As always, I'll talk to you in a while.